Hello and good evening everyone. Welcome to this amazing channel named Geeks for Geeks School. So today we are going to develop something very interesting on Tinkercad platform, but before diving into the platform I would first like to tell you about this course which we have come up with. So this course is based on App Lab. If you want to know how you can develop mobile applications, if you want to know things related to mobile applications, then this course is made for you. So that's the URL with the help of which you can access the web page on which the entire information related to this course is given. If it is not visible to you right now, you can check the description box in which we have mentioned the URL right of this page, and also there is a promo code with the help of which you can avail a very good discount on the total course fee. So that's the page, and here when you'll come down you'll see all the information related to this course which we are currently providing to our students. So here you'll get to know about what is mobile application, how you can design user interface of mobile app, how you can make your user interface more interactive by adding coding to it, and how you can create multi-screen applications. So that's what you will be taught in the online coding classes that we will provide you in this course. Then if you'll come down, if you want to know more, you want to check out the syllabus, then we have provided a tab over here. Now if you'll click on this tab, automatically it will redirect you to a new tab to which we have connected a PDF file. Now in this PDF file we have given all the 18 topics that we will be teaching you in the online coding classes, right? And besides these 18 topics, there will be lot many things that you are going to take away from this course. You will get a chance to interact with people who belongs to different countries, different states, right? So that is also a plus point of this course. And then this course is very much popular today just because of the affordable pricing. So if you want to avail the course, if you want to get your book, if you want to get your seats booked for this course, you can just log in and register on this web page and pay the money and avail the coding classes. In case you have any doubt, in case you want to know more about this course, you can get in touch with one of our executives. Definitely we are going to help you in the best possible way. We are there to help you out in 24/7. Remember this thing. Now one more thing that I would like to share with you is if you want to learn something big, right, for example artificial intelligence or machine learning or data science, or something big. So yes, we have different mentors for different courses, and they have got an amazing experience, and they would really love to share their experience, their knowledge with you guys. And if you want to take away their knowledge, if you want to learn those things, definitely you can avail the courses that we guys are providing to our students. So if you want to check out those courses based on those big things, you can visit the main website of Geeks for Geeks. There you can find each and everything, each and every information related to every kind of course that we are providing right now. Okay, in case you want to inquire something, definitely we are there to help you out with that too, right? So there you can find the toll-free number, which when you will dial, you will be able to get in touch with our executive department, who will sort out each and every query of yours, right? And in case you think that you want to share it with me, you want to share your problem with me, definitely we have the comment box open for each and every one of you. So you can just put your queries over there, and I'll be responding, my team will be responding to all your queries, right? Let's now move to the platform. So that's the way with the help of which you can access the Tinkercad platform. I know you guys, I hope you guys know it very well. If you don't know how to create your account, you don't know how to, if you're new on this platform and you are not aware of the basics of this platform, then I would suggest you to please check the very first tutorial that I shooted on this platform, in which I told everyone the basics of the platform, and I introduced the interface basically, right? The various tools with the help of which we can create virtual circuits, and how it behaves as an alternative to Arduino. If you want to know about all these things, just check out the very first tutorial. right. Now for accessing that virtual environment on which we can create virtual circuits, we can simply hit this circuits option, and then we can click on this create new circuits option, which will redirect us to that environment where we can create virtual circuits, and also we can code them with the help of block based as well as text based coding. So the first thing that we require is an Arduino Uno R3 board. It's going to be a little bit complicated circuit today, right? They are going to be a number of things. So please, if you are doing it right now, you can do it with me simultaneously. So we need an Arduino circuit, and I'm putting it over here. Right, then we need a breadboard. So breadboard we need, that's the breadboard small that I need. I'm putting it over here. Yeah, I think that yeah, that's the one which I need. Sorry. Okay, so we have this breadboard, we have this Arduino Uno R3 board also. If you want, you can zoom in and zoom out using your mouse scroll, right? Then what else do we require? We require a piezo. So that's the one, right? It is going to act as a buzzer for us, with the help of which we will produce different kind of sounds, right? So that's how you can place all these three components. Now next thing that we are going to do is we are going to connect this what we call it Arduino Uno R3 board with this breadboard over here. But before that, let's bring some push buttons and put them on this breadboard. So I would like to use this keyword push button, and that's what you will get to see over here. So that's the first push button, and I would like to place it right in the first column. So I think if I'll put it over here, that is going to be a good option. Why? Because I am connecting this topmost part with the lowermost part indirectly. Okay, so that's where I'm putting it. And then we have one more, then one more. I am putting it over here because it's a multi-tone keyboard that we will design today. That's the reason we'll be using 6 to 7 push buttons. So I'm done with installing 4. Now I need 4 more. So either you can get it from this navigation menu, or else what you can do, you can create a copy of these push buttons like this. Just press Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and a copy, a duplicate of that will get created like this, right? And you can simply put it on the breadboard, and then you can define the required coding. Okay, so I am done with putting 8 required push buttons, right? Now the next thing that I want is I need some resistors. So resistors, I can get it like this. Yes, that's the one I was searching for, and I am putting it over here. I want to connect it with the negative terminal. Actually, the way I connected the push buttons yesterday with the help of resistors to this negative terminal, then we can create a duplicate of this resistor. So Ctrl C, Ctrl V we can use, and we can simply put it over here. Then we are going to repeat the same step for the other push buttons also. So that's the one, the third one, then the fourth one. I have to connect it with this. Let's connect the fifth one over here. Then we have the sixth one, then we have the seventh one, and then we have the eighth one. Okay, so I am done with connecting all these 8 push buttons. So that's what I have done. I've connected all these 8 push buttons with the help of these resistors to this negative terminal of breadboard, right? Now let's do one thing. Let's connect this terminal 1A of all these push buttons with the positive terminal, because this one, if we have connected it with negative, then then the first one needs to be connected with the positive terminal, of course. So what we can do, we can simply make use of a color. Let's select this green, and I would like to connect this, or else let's go for red. Right, red is going to be a good option. So I'm connecting this one with this positive terminal like this. Similarly, we can connect this one with this positive terminal, right? So we have to repeat the steps for all the push buttons. Okay, so we are almost done with this. We have connected the terminal 1A of all the terminals of all the push buttons to the positive terminal of this breadboard, right? Okay, now what next? So first of all, I would like you guys to just try it out, and by the time I'm checking the comment section, if I have anything to answer, I would like to answer that first. So what is tone keyboard? So I think we can get rid of this person. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And let me check if I have anything to answer. Hello Priyansh, I hope you are doing good, dear. Great to see you again. Okay, so we are done with connecting all these push buttons to the positive terminals, right? The terminal 1A of all these push buttons to the positive terminal, and the terminal 2A of all these push buttons to the negative terminal. Now what's next? So for creating a complete circuit, we have to first connect this breadboard to this Arduino Uno R3 board, right? And we are going to use the same method, the method that we used in the previous couple of lectures. We are going to use the same method for connecting this Arduino Uno R3 board with the breadboard. So we'll use this black wire, and let's connect this ground pin with this negative terminal of Arduino Uno R3 board, and let's use this red color wire, sorry, not this one. Now I would like to use the red color wire for connecting this 5-volt pin to the positive terminal of Arduino Uno R3 board, right? So that's how you can connect it. Now the next thing that we have to do is we have to connect this piezo also to this Arduino Uno R3 board. Now how we will do it? So there are two terminals of this piezo. One is the positive terminal and the second one is negative. So negative, we can connect it to the ground point, right? Because the ground point we generally connect with negative terminals. So we can make use of a black wire, and let's connect this ground pin of this Arduino Uno R3 board to this negative terminal of piezo, or you can say buzzer, right? And then what we can do, we can connect the positive terminal to one of the free pins over here of this Arduino Uno R3 board. So I'm selecting this green color wire, or let's select this wire. I think it is going to look great. So I am using this wire for connecting the positive terminal. Just a second, I need to delete this one. So that's how I would like to do. Okay, yeah, now it is fine. So I'm connecting this with the positive terminal of the piezo, right? Okay, now let's zoom in. Now the next thing that we have to do is we have to connect these pins, these free pins also, terminal 2B pins of these push buttons to these free pins of Arduino Uno R3 board. Now how we will do it, that's what we have to check. So how many pins are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we have 11 pins over here. We can start from this pin number 2, I think that will be fine. So let's start with pin number 2, and we are going to use this green color wire, right? We can use this black color, right? And let's connect this pin number 2. So I'm connecting it like this, right? So this pin number 2 is now connected to this terminal 2B. Okay, similarly I'll connect all these pins one by one with terminal 2 of all these switches, right? Let's do the needful. So let's come on this D3, and because we have to first define a complete circuit, then only we'll be able to get the required output. Okay, then we can again come over here. And make sure that you have gone through that lecture number 1 which I shooted, in which I have explained the basics of this platform, because until and unless you know the basics, you'll not be able to understand these complex things. Remember this thing. So it's better if you will check that lecture first, and after that you can come on this one. If you haven't checked it yet, you are definitely going to suffer. Then you'll not be able to understand these things. So it's better if you can check those things first, then you can come on these complex things. So I made a mistake over here. Instead of connecting terminal 2B, I connected this terminal 1B to this pin. Okay, so now we are left with only 4 more. Let's hurry up. Okay, I'm done with connecting pin number 6 with this 5th push button, terminal 2 of this 5th push button. Now we are doing the needful for terminal 2B, sorry, not this one. Right? If you will do it the way I am doing, you will be able to create a complete circuit and try to understand the logic first. Why am I doing so? If you want to understand the logic, you can visit the previous lectures. Definitely you will find them more logical then. However, if you don't want to visit the previous lectures, you want to be here and understand these complex things, then it's your choice. Okay, so we are done with connecting all these terminal 2B, all these 2B terminals of all the 8 switches, all the 8 push buttons we have on the breadboard with the Arduino Uno R3 board, right? Okay, let's now start defining the code for this circuit. So today I will be using the text based coding in place of the block based coding. So let's come on this coding section and let's select this text based coding from here. Fine. Now I would like to eliminate everything whatever is there by default over here. Okay, then let's define 8 variables first, because we have 8 different buttons, 8 different push buttons. For 8 different push buttons, we are going to have 8 different for each of those 8 different push buttons, we are going to have one variable each, right? So int, let's say b is equals to 2, b1 is equals to 2, then int b2. So we can just copy it and we can paste it over here like this. For button 2, to which pin I have connected this button 2's terminal 2B with. Let's check it out. So I've connected it with pin number 3. Then I've connected this third push button to this Arduino Uno board 3 on pin number 4, then pin number 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Right, so let's use the pin numbers in the same order. So for B2 it is 3, then for B3 it is 4, right? Let's copy these things and I'm putting it over here. For B4 it is pin number 5, for B5 it is pin number 6, for B6 it is pin number 7 I have used. Then let's paste the copied code. Pin number for B7 I have used pin number 8, for B8 I have used pin number 9. Right, so we are done with defining all the 5 variables for each for the 8 buttons we have defined on the breadboard. Now let's define an integer variable for the piezo buzzer. So buzz equal to which pin we have connected the positive terminal of the piezo button. Piezo, let's check it out. So this positive terminal is connected to this pin number 13, right? So we can initialize it with 13. That's how you have to understand the coding. Let's now define a function named setup, right? And here I am opening it and let's close it over here at this point. Perfect. Now inside this, let's make use of this pin mode. And what is the name of this first variable? It is B1. So B1, and then we would like to read the input. So that's how we can read the input of the first push button. You want to read the input of the second push button, simply write B2 and here you have to put input, then B3 input, then B4 input, then B5 input, B6 input, then B7 input, then B8. Rest everything is going to remain the same, because what we are trying to do, we are trying to read the input. Alright, so that's the function with the help of which we can read the input. Similarly, you want to read the input of the buzzer, so that's what you have to replace this B1 with. So you can replace it with the integer variable you have defined for the buzzer. Alright, okay. Now what next? Now because buzzer is going to give us the output, so here in place of input we have to write output. From the push buttons we have defined on the breadboard, we are going to get the input. That's the reason I have written input over here. and from the buzzer we are going to get the output. That's the reason output I have written over here. Right, let's now define this main function, which is loop. Okay, and then starting the function, ending it over here. Now what we have to do inside it, we have to make use of the digital read function. So I would like to initialize this variable b1 with digital read, and we can have, just a second, I think here we will have to use some other variable, because we have already used this b1 over here, right, for initializing the for taking the pin numbers to which the push buttons are connected. So instead of b1 we can put over here p1, because it is for push buttons, right, and digital read b1. Then we can simply copy this whole code, we can put it over here. Now I'll tell you what all changes you have to do in these codes. So for the here p1 needs to be replaced with p2, and b1 needs to be replaced with b2, then p3 b3, p4 b4, then here we have to change it to p5 b5, then p6 b6. It's going to be complex, as I've told you, right, but when you're done with coding it, the output you are going to get, it is going to amaze you definitely. So I'm done with defining the variables for all the 8 buttons. Right, let's eliminate this last line from here. Okay, now here I need to put an if control statement for finding out the state of b1. So if suppose b1 is equals to let's say 1, if suppose it is equals to 1, then what should happen? That's what I will have to define now. So let's make the buzzer ring. Okay, so where is that buzzer? That's what we have to find out. What is the name of this piezo? It is 1. Okay, just give me a short moment, I have to check out something over here. So it is 1. If I'll simply write over here this thing buzzer, then let's define a tone for this buzzer. So 400 100, if b1 is equals to 1, which means that if the user has touched or pressed the b1 push button, so that's what he is going to hear. If b1 is equals to 2, so the tone should change, right, the tone should change. Here we can make it 300, and here we can make it 400. I think that will be a better option. Now if b1 is equals to 3, then what should happen? The tone should change again, so that's the reason I've defined 500. Then if b1 is equals to 4, then what should happen? The tone should change to 600. If it is equals to, sorry, here it should be 1, here it should be 1, really sorry, here also it should be 1, because 1 is for high and 0 is for low, right? So if this b1 will be pressed, then this will happen. If b2 will be pressed, then this will happen. If b3 will be pressed, then this will happen. If b4 will be pressed, and if b5 will be pressed, then this will happen. That's how this code is going to help us. B6 700, and if B7 800, right, then if it is B8, then what should happen? So it should be 900, right? So for whenever the user will press any of these push buttons, he is going to hear a different sound. Fine, let's start the simulation process and see whether we will be able to get the required output or not. Okay, so it has thrown some error, and what are the errors? Let's check it out. So error expected, okay. Then B2 was not declared in this scope. Alternative is P2, okay. So it is not able to access this B1, B2. Why is it so? Let me check it. Because I have defined let me first close this error window. Let me check the code right from the beginning. So that's the code which I've defined, and these variables over here are global variables, right? So we need not, we can access them directly, but because we haven't put these semicolons, maybe because of that it is giving us the error, right? Let's put the semicolons over here. Here also we need to put the semicolon. Then I think rest everything is fine. Pin mode bus output, it is also perfectly fine. Then we haven't put the semicolons over here. I think that's also an issue. Okay, let's now start the simulation process. Again, I'm getting some errors. Let me see what is the error. Okay, so B9 was not declared in this scope. Have I used B9 somewhere? Let me see. I don't think so. So B8, have I used B9 anywhere? Okay, so that's the error. B1, B2, B3, B4. Let me start the simulation and see if I get the error this time also. Yes, I have some errors to resolve over here. Buzzer was not declared in this scope. Okay, so it is asking us to declare this variable buzzer. Now why is it okay? So I use this buzz over here, not buzzer. That may be the reason why it is giving us the error. That is absolutely correct. I think I need to change it to buzz. Now I'll be able to run this code and get the desired output as far as I know. Let's start the simulation process. Okay, still there are some errors. Now what are the errors? Okay, here also I have to change it to buzz. Okay, let's start the simulation process. Okay, so this platform has accepted the code which I have defined over here. Now if I'll click on any of these buttons, let's see what is going to happen. Again, just a second, let me check the comment box first whether I have anything to answer, and after that I would like to show you the magic of this circuit. Okay, Pranav Sonar, Hello dear. Yes, we'll be learning C also very soon. Don't worry about that. So we are done with defining the coding part also. We are done with creating the circuit also. Now the only issue which I'm facing over here is if I'm starting the simulation, so this piezo is not producing any kind of sound. Now why is it so? That's what we have to check out. The circuit is perfectly fine. It's a complete circuit which we have over here right now, but we are not getting the output. The coding is perfectly fine. It's not showing us any kind of error over here. Maybe I have not connected something properly. That's the reason it's not giving me the ground pin of Arduino. And here I've connected this Arduino Uno R3 board with this breadboard. How I've connected it, using the same points. Pin of 5 volt, I've connected it to this positive terminal, and this negative terminal I've connected it with ground pin. Alright, then I connected the terminal 2Bs of all these switches with these free pins of Arduino Uno R3 board, and this positive terminal of this piezo I have connected it to this D13 of this Arduino Uno R3 board. Right, and finally I have defined the coding based on the pins to which I have used for this circuit. For example, for these switches I've used pin number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So that's the reason I've initialized all these variables with these numbers over here. Then I've used a separate variable for the buzzer. The name of this variable is buzz, to which I have assigned 13. Why? Because the positive terminal of buzzer is connected to the pin number 13 of piezo. Then I have used this setup named function, in which I have made use of this pin mode, which is going to read for us the input from B1, B2, B3 and the output of buzz. Then we have this loop named function, in which I have initialized this P1, P2, P3 with digital read functions, and they are going to digitally read the value of B1, B2, B3 and store them in P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8. Right, and then we have these what we call it if control statements, in which I have checked the values of B1, B2, B3 and B8 variables. So if B1 will be pushed, it means that the state of B1 is going to be 1. So if it is equal to 1, the tone that the buzzer should produce for us is this: buzz 300, 100. Similarly, the tone which this should produce for us if the user will hit the B2 button. So that's the tone which we will be hearing. Then if the user will hit the push button 3, then that's the tone which will be heard by the user. And similarly, we have defined different tones for different buttons. Right, so the code is perfectly fine. Just try it out yourself and let me know in the comment section if you if you get the output, and in case you come across any issue, you can share it with me in the comment section definitely. Now if you want to make it more good, you can add some delay also, like this delay of 10 milliseconds you can add right in the bottom. Fine, so that's it from my side in this lecture. Hope you guys enjoyed this one a lot. Thank you very much for being there with me in this tutorial. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye everyone.